Namaste. Good morning, yogis. Thank you so much for joining us this Sunday morning. We're going to start and just get going. You can see I'm standing up again. So we'll just do a mindful flow to get us working this morning. So if you're ready, I just want to start maybe with our hands under our chin like this and work on the breathing. So as we inhale, we're just going to fly our elbows up to the sky. And as we exhale, just drop them down. So don't worry, there's nothing too technical about this. We're just establishing a flow. We're just making sure that we do one breath, one movement, an inhale and an exhale. And see if you can bring your full attention to this. Exhale. We'll do two more. I'll be quiet. Drop your hands down, just roll back your shoulders and just see how you're feeling today. I'm not sure if you do this very often, but just do a bit of an Elvis. Do some hip circles, circle it out, move as you need to move, just to test how your body's feeling, because you might be feeling a bit stiff. It is quite early. And then we'll come to the top of our mat and just take our hands to prayer. So a little baby sun salutation to start. We'll inhale, and then as we exhale, just forward fold. And then just do a half rise, so we're not going back yet, and then crown the head to the floor, and then breathe in as you bring the hands up and down to prayer. And we'll do it again, so we inhale, exhale, forward fold. Nice hamstring stretch. Inhale, look up to the horizon, exhale, crown to the floor. And then breathe in, bring the hands all the way overhead, and then bring it down. Two more times, we're going to inhale. And exhale. So please don't worry if your hands aren't touching the ground as you do your forward fold. We're just stretching in the way that it suits you. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Keep those legs straight and don't worry how far you get down. Look up to the horizon. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring the hands all the way up. And then hands to prayer. Good. We're going to go on now. So we'll inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up to the horizon. Exhale, plant the hands and bend the knees as much as they need to, and then step back into plank. We're going to just put the knees on the ground and fold you there. I bet you're in your chaturanga. And do a couple of cat-cows. So just cat-cowing it out. Inhaling and exhaling. I've just noticed that my hands are quite far away, so I'm just going to bring my hands back underneath my shoulders so everything's stacked, and do one more cat-cow. Inhale and exhale, and then drop back into child's pose and just release the lower back here and take a breath. And then walk the hands around to the right hand side and look under the right armpit and really stretch into the left lung as you're here. Hopefully you can hear me breathing deeply, and then bring the hands back to the midpoint and then go around the other way. So we'll inhale and exhale, and then bring the hands back. And now we're going to tuck our toes under and come up into our down dog position. So not quite a sun salutation today, we're just flowing in our little warm up. So walk the dog, pad the feet out, and just keep breathing into the belly as you do this. Just notice my hands curled up, so let me try all that at work. So as we exhale next time, we're just going to walk, or if you want, step the feet forward. We'll inhale into that half rise again for the hamstrings. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, push the hands all the way up to the sky, and then bring them to prayer. One more time, that whole thing. Inhale, exhale. Give your hamstrings a good stretch. Inhale, look up, and then plant the hands. So bend the knees as much as you need to. Step back on the left, right to meet it. Drop the knees, and we're going to do a few cat-cows. So really watch the breath here. You've got some time here to inhale and exhale. So we need to keep our spine flexible. We hold a lot of tension in the shoulders, a lot of tension in the back. And now, after our last cat-cow, we're just going to sink back down into child's pose and just really stretch ahead with the fingertips, just so you're creating a lot of space in the armpits. And then we'll walk the hands around to the left-hand side and just breathe into that right lung this time. Take a breath, inhale, and exhale. And then bring the hands back round to the midpoint and then round to the other side. So we're just breathing into the left armpit now. So it's really nice to focus on the breath. It gives us our wandering mind something to do. Bring the hands back to the midpoint. We're going to tuck the toes under and come back into down dog. One more time and really push the heels down this time. So if you want, you can pad the feet. It's a nice way to wake up, is to keep moving, as you know. But otherwise, if you just need the stretch, really concentrate on pushing those heels down to the ground. Lovely big breath in. And exhale. And then walk, step, or jump the feet forward. I know this can be quite tricky if you've got tight hamstrings. Inhale, look up to the horizon. Exhale, forward fold. And then push the floor away. Bring the hands up and then down to prayer. Very good. Let's see if we can try a tree balance. So let me face the front. You stay where you are. Just draw the right foot up. And we're either just putting the foot below the knee or above the knee. Your choice. And see if we can just balance here. So if we're below the knee, let me do that with you. Tree is a hip opener. So what we want is this right knee to be going towards the back of your mat. Keep opening up. And if you feel confident, we can just raise the hands up and then open up. I've got to be really careful not to fall over, otherwise I look like a complete nana. So take some nice big breaths into the belly. Inhale and exhale. Good. You stay where you are. I'm just going to bring my hands back down to prayer. No need for you to move. I'm just going to move to my mat and then just step that right foot back. And we'll take our Trikonasana again. We've done this almost every week if you've been doing this each week. Just bring the right hand up. Bring the hips forward and breathe. Inhale. And exhale. As we inhale again, let's bring ourselves up to the midpoint and then take the left hand high. So now we've got all this space, this big stretch down the left side body. So just enjoy that. Inhale and exhale. And then as we inhale, let's bring ourselves back up again. And we're just going to take a step forward to the front of the mat. And let's do tree on the other side. So it's left leg raising. So either just pop that foot below the knee. If you're feeling really wobbly today, if you've had a lot of beer or wine the night before, it makes us really wobbly and balances. If you want, you can have the toes on the floor just to help you balance. As long as we're opening that hip, that's okay. But if you can, that foot goes above the knee. Depends if you've got sliding yoga pants on. If you're still in your pajamas, it might be sliding. And just take a breath. See if you can pick a point in front of you to focus on. The shoulders are relaxed. And really breathe out into the mat. If you're happy to do so, just bring your hands up and open out the fingers. Nice big inhale and exhale. And you stay where you are. Don't worry, I'm just going to twizzle around so I can do the next position. We're going to step back on the left foot and coming over into our Trikonasana on the other side. So our left hand raises and we're just breathing. It's as if our body's within 2 panes of glass here. So don't worry too much about this right hand touching the floor. It's more of a side stretch. As we inhale, let's come up and bring the right hand over. So we're stretching through the right side body. Lovely big breath here. Inhale. And exhale. And then we're going to step forward into our chair position. So just bring both feet together and sink down into an Utkatasana, we call this. So make sure the pelvis is tucked under. We're not sticking our bottom out. And just breathe here. So this is a really nice stretch for the Achilles. Stretching into the ankles. If you want, you can bring the hands to prayer. And see if you can rise up onto the toes. So we're just lifting our heels off the floor. Maybe we can sink down a little further. It's not a squat, but we just want to feel these quads were okay. Nice big inhale, and then exhale. We're just going to forward fold. So once again, nice big swan dive down, exhale, inhale, look up to the horizon, exhale, plant the hands. Let's step the right foot back, and we're going to stay here. So if you want, we can either put the knee to the ground or keep it upright and just come into a lunge position. Take the hands behind us and look up to the ceiling. So my hands are just on my lower back, and I'm breathing and opening up my chest to the sky. See if you can balance here. Again, option always to put that right knee down, that's okay. And then we'll release our right hand and pop it down towards our left foot and just lift the left hand high. Nice big inhale and exhale. And then let's pop that left hand down, step the left foot back, and let's do our chaturanga. I've managed to get you off doing chaturangas so far. Here's our first one. Inhale, in cobra, exhale, chin to the mat, and find our down dog. So let's just pad the feet here. Maybe it's nice to sigh out. Inhale and exhale. And then push both heels down to the ground. Do you feel a difference between the right leg and the left leg? And then we're going to walk or step the feet forward. We'll come all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half rise, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, push the floor away. Then come all the way up into prayer. Well done. Let's find out with Utkatasana again. So let's just sit down. Exhale. Maybe we bring our hands to prayer, and maybe we rise up onto our toes. So again, pick a point to focus on, just so we're not too wobbly. Maybe we can sink down a little bit further. Inhaling and exhaling. And then inhale. We just pop the heels to the ground, and we're going to forward fold again. Swan dive down. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, plant those hands. Let's step the other foot back. So we're stepping back this time on the left, and we're staying here. So ideally, we're going to be in a nice high lunge. If you want this morning, we can put that back knee down. Good. But just take the hands behind you and look up to the ceiling. So ideally, that back knee is raised, but if not, don't worry. We just want to feel that we're creating space in the chest, the shoulders are coming back. Lovely chest opener, good for the shoulders. As we inhale, bring yourself upright. Let's take our left hand, pop it beside the right foot, and look up to the right hand. So I'm going to lift my knee here. Hopefully you're doing that with me. And really breathe into this right lung. That's the one that's got all the space. And as we exhale, drop that hand down. Let's step back into our plank pose. Second chaturanga. See if you can go down in one staff. So just keep the elbows glued to your sides. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, chin to the mat, and then up to our down dog position. So if you're not happy in down dog, who wouldn't be? Don't worry, you can always put the knees to the ground and just do a few cat-cows. That might feel better for your body this morning. But if not, just stay in down dog. We can either find stillness or pad the feet. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Take one more breath. Inhale and exhale. And then just lower the knees down to the ground. I'm going to let you off. And come into a child's pose. See if you want to come up onto tented fingers, we call this. So we've lifted the palm of the hand from the floor, just on the fingertips, and allow the head to drop down. So you might feel that this is a much bigger stretch in the neck, a much bigger stretch through the shoulders. If this is uncomfortable, don't do it. Just bend the arms, have the hands flat on the floor, and take a breath in child's. And then bring the hands underneath the shoulders, and we're going to push up into a kneeling position. So just before we sit on the mat, we're going to do a shoulder stretch. So just take the hands behind you. So hopefully you can hold hands at the back. Or if that's not working, hold elbows. It's anything that pushes these shoulder blades, the tips of the shoulder blades in towards each other. And then we're going to just take the crown of our head, the very top of our head, to the floor. And the hands come up and over behind us. We roll onto the crown of the head and work really hard just to bring the hands over your head towards the floor, as if they're going to end up on the mat. So just visualize it in your mind that your hands are going to end up back there on the mat. If not today, tomorrow. But we're just going to take one more breath here. So push the hands away and see if you can feel the pressure on the crown of the head. Don't go too far. We're not overstretching the neck, but this is a really nice stretch. And then come back into our child's pose again. Just rest here for a minute, just tucked in a little ball. If you've got more powerful thighs, it might be more comfortable to have the toes up at the back. Just take a breath. And then we're going to roll over onto our bottom. So just find your way to sitting down. Extend the legs out in front of you. Really simple hamstring stretch. Hands go down towards the feet and breathe. 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. So if you've been doing yoga for a long time, you will know that you have a straight spine and we're trying to lower the chest down to the ground. Hopefully that works for you. If you'd rather have a more rounded spine, if that just works for your body today, that's okay with me. But if you keep your chest coming down towards your shins, you'll find a bigger stretch. Wherever you are, keep breathing. Nice big inhale. Exhale. Good. And then release from here. We're just going to roll up and find your way down to a lying down position. I've got one more strength exercise for you. This will be easy for everybody. Hands go to the mat. And we're just going to push up, release the pelvis from the floor, and then take the bottom as high as it can. So in yoga, we don't actually do a lot of exercises for the glutes. So most yogis have really flabby bottoms, but this is a good one. See if we just want to take the strain of this through the feet. So if you can, relax the glute muscles and then inhale and pull the glute muscles back into business and raise the hips a little bit higher. Then you've got nice double chins here. And this is both a chest opener, so the shoulders stay on the floor, and we're strengthening the lower back. Take a breath. Inhale. And as we exhale, just roll the spine down, vertebrae by vertebrae onto the mat. And then just bring the right knee into the chest, give it a squeeze. And that should feel like a really nice release in the lower back. That should feel good. And then put that foot back on the floor and bring in the left knee. And again, just release that lower back. And then place the left foot on the floor. We're just going to drop the knees over to the right hand side. Take the head over your left shoulder. And just be here. So now we're just going to release the muscles and enjoy this supine twist. So anything that we do fully supported by the mat. This is a really nice thing to do in the morning before you get out of bed. It's a restorative pose. So we're just going into the restorative couple of minutes at the end of practice. And then as we inhale, draw your navel to spine, spine to the mat, bring the knees up, and then drop them over to the other side. Take the head over the right shoulder. And just see if there's a difference from one side to another there. Just note if this feels more or less comfortable on this side. But just relax every muscle in the body. And then as we inhale, navel to spine, bring the knees up. And just stretch as you need to stretch. Our next move is to Savasana, where we just lie here, pretending we're sunbathing. But if you want to do a stretch before we get there, please do. If you know that you are about to be interrupted or you have to go and do something really quickly in a minute, maybe just take this centering of Savasana sitting up. So I've come to cross-legged, but I encourage you just to lie down on the mat. And just just see if you can draw your attention to the breath, not to change it at all, but just to watch it, just to observe the breath in the body. Inhale, the chest rises. Exhale, the chest falls. And see if you can train your attention to the breath here. Notice if that's easier to do than at the beginning of practice. And each time you get distracted, if your mind wanders off, don't worry about that. Just bring it back and rest the mind on the breath. So in doing that, you're connecting with the breath and disconnecting from all the various jumble of thoughts in your mind. And then we're just going to take 3 cleansing breaths to finish. So a nice big inhale, really deepen the breath, breathe in through the nose, and then sigh out. And 2 more times, inhale. And just let the breath return to normal. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Stretch as you need to stretch. What do you need to do today? And then when you're ready, if you've been lying down, just roll over onto your right hand side. And we'll meet in our seat. Maybe cross-legged, maybe not. Ready to get on with your day. Many thanks for joining us again. Namaste.